What an honor. What a moment of defining what it means to travel 100 years. I'm talking of the honor of being here to witness the 100th Founders' Day celebrations for all of us. It was a moment that rudimented over what has transpired over 100 years, right from a sapling to this beautiful tall tree with so many branches, fruits, and flowers, as beautiful as the colors that exist on earth. What does this award mean to me? It means validation, a pat on the back that I have been walking in the right direction over the last almost 48 years. We're going to touch 50 next year, which coincides with the centenary celebrations of my honorable and very dear Guru, the legend, Dr. Sangeeta Kalanidhi Padma Bhushan, M.L. Vasantakumari Amma. A guru is just not a person who teaches you what he knows. He gives his whole. He gives his knowledge, that daan. And I think that selflessness, that unconditional and all-encompassing love and giving shapes every student. And I believe that that is what PSG Institutions has been doing over the last 100 years. MLV Amma adopted me when I was 19, and I almost did Gurukula Vasa with her for 13 years. I'm not abashed, ashamed to shed tears for this very, very wonderful Guru who destiny brought to me. I was not cut out to be a musician, not at all. I wanted to be a gynecologist. I thought being able to deliver babies and see that pride and happiness in the mother's eyes was the biggest doing on earth, biggest sadhana in Chololya, achievement on earth. I walked into the compound of Etiraj College and everything changed. I sang my first song at the Freshers' Assembly, and that changed everything in my life. My mentor, my professors, of course, because I had medicine in my mind, I took up natural sciences and physics and chemistry to dwell on first. But my mentor called me after 6 months and said, Sudha, I think you have to change your mind. I said, why? Am I not good enough at the lab? Is my dissection of the frog and cockroach not good enough? Are my practical records not up to the mark? She said, no, everything is beyond the mark, but your voice tells me that your calling is different. So I sat with that idea. You know, how a professor in a college can change your entire destiny, your profession, your dreams, your goals, your ambition. She was an example of that. She was Sheila Joseph. She knew nothing about Carnatic music. But she said, உன்னோட குரல் ஏதோ செய்யறதுன்னு என் மனசுல நீ தப்பான ஒரு சப்ஜெக்ட் படிச்சிட்டு இருக்கியோன்னு தோன்றது. Why don't you pick up a subject where you can graduate while allotting equal space for Carnatic music? Because if you do medicine, you'll have to forget everything. And if you have to be a good doctor at that, music will just be something that you listen to. So I thought, and then went back to her after 2 months and said, okay, ma'am, can I do economics? Because I think I will have space to sit for my civil service exams. I'm not sure about music being my profession. She was very tactful She didn't say no. She said, okay, give it a try. So I did my graduation and post-graduation at Ethraj College in economics. While my little journey, my sojourn into the world of music started to find wings because my mother was that resolve, was that iron, shall we say, hearted lady, steel-hearted, not letting me go beyond the radar of music, because 50 years back, she was considered as the MS of her family, but when she got married, she was not allowed to sing because it was taboo for women of that community. So she probably nurtured dreams of polishing me in music, of making a career in music. I didn't know that. There was yet a juncture where everything changed, and that was when the central government offered me a scholarship. The Department of Culture offered a scholarship for me to be able to learn from a legendary guru. If that had not happened, I would not be standing before all of you with this PSG Vishwa Jnana Ratna. Not at all. Just a few things, fine-tuned, tweaked, can change your entire life. When I received the scholarship, there was only one person Amma could think of to teach me, and that was M.L. Vasantakumari Amma. I walked into her house with trepidation, with tentativeness on a Krishnashtami day, walked by the little Krishna steps that she had imaged on the floor up to the puja room, and then went into her room and sat before her. She said, "Padu." So I sang. And I think there was more of tremor than real singing, because உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும் எம்எல்வின்னு ஒரு அந்த 3 எழுத்துக்கு அவ்வளோ ஒரு பவர். எப்படி பிஎஸ்ஜிக்கு ஒரு பவர் இருக்கோ அந்த மாதிரி எம்எல்வி அவளுக்கு ஒரு பவர். ஆனால் பாட்டு வந்தது, ஏதோ சத்தம் வந்தது. And it seemed to have touched her. And she told my mother, நான் சொல்லித்தரேன், ஆனால் சொல்லியும் கொடுக்க மாட்டேன். அவள் பிஹெச்டி பண்ணுற மாதிரி அவளே பாடம் பண்ணிக்கணும், அவளே ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி எல்லா கீர்த்தனையும் கற்றுக்கணும். ஏன்னா எனக்கு நாழி கிடையாது. நான் கச்சேரியாக போயின்னு இருக்கிறவோ, உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் இல்லையா அப்படின்னா. We didn't know the seriousness of the situation. We just nodded our heads in approval. But the next year, when this scholarship was granted, this was the first story is the approval story. The second is the real granting of the scholarship. And it became a reality, my mother's dream. So I shelved my civil service dream and said, okay, I might come back to it after a few years of this scholarship. But I didn't know I was going to walk a journey where there was no retracing back to academics. It was a very special path that MLV Amma drew before me. And after the 3 years of the scholarship, she didn't let me go. She said, Sudha, you are cut out to be a Carnatic musician. You have all the raw material that it requires. All you need to do is to focus, to work with integrity, with resilience, with courage, with conviction, with zeal, with commitment. And thus, I have walked for 48 years.